views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and do not necessarily reflect the official policies or positions of City World Media, LLC, or its affiliates. All shows are produced with full participant consent. City World Media does not claim ownership of any third-party music featured and uses all tracks only with proper permissions or licenses granted by their respective rights holders. City World Media operates in accordance with fair use and digital broadcast guidelines on all platforms. From my city to your world, we are City World. Thank you for watching.
Welcome to the Just Gimme the Mic show, where music, community, and the arts amplify real voices. I'm your host, Debra CoCo, a lifelong music lover, educator, and advocate for the youth. Just Gimme the Mic TV highlights creativity, growth, and culture to inspire change through conversation. Here we share positive stories, powerful lessons, and voices from all walks of life. Because every experience matters. Now let's get into it. Welcome. Welcome to Just Give Me the Mic. I am your host, Debra CoCo. And I am so excited about tonight because tonight we are turning up the energy and we are celebrating legacy, culture, and the evolution of the DJ game and music production tonight, y'all. We are honored to have a true icon in the building, a pioneer, a culture shifter, and a name that rings bells worldwide, okay? From rocking through the golden era of hip-hop, redefining the rooftop vibes, this DJ has been very consistent over the years with authentic sound, always ahead of the curve. And tonight, again, we are talking about the legendary, world-famous DJ. Brucey B is in the building, y'all. And I'm so happy to have him with me because I've known him for many, many years. I've seen him rock out for many, many years. And tonight I have a chance to sit down and talk with him about his legacy, how he feels about the game, what's going on. And matter of fact, without further ado, we're gonna bring him right out. But let's check out this clip, and then we'll be right back with the world famous Brucey B, y'all.
Harlem is known for that style of DJ. You got the Hollywoods, you got, S&S Club, you got all of these things. 145th Street, you up there, you got all of this stuff going on. But when you step on 155th and 8th, and you go in that motherfucking rooftop, it's Brucey B time, baby. It's Brucey B time.
DJs had to go to see him, to manifest what the fuck he was doing, to be somebody. Because he was hot. He was the shit. I don't give a fuck. If you was whoever you was, Queens, Brooklyn, they drove to Harlem to hear the sounds of Brucey B.
But Bruce was the rooftop. He was the one that made that crowd coming in and have the time that they had. You know what I'm saying? And Gusto made sure that was provided. So it was a working effort. It was a team effort.
And then you have somebody like Brucey B, whose approach on the music was to bring it to life. Like, not only did he know what songs to play, he knew when to play them. Like, he knew when to drop the Phil Collins record. When that Air Tonight came on, and we skating, oh man, you don't even understand the feeling. It made you want to get money.
Brucey, welcome to the show. We're going to talk about the rooftop later. We're going to get into that. But look at all the people shouting you out. You are known worldwide. Like, I know when I seen you for years rocking out, you know, I mean, turning the parties up. One thing that I love the most is the way you make me enjoy the music even more. Like, I hear DJs play sounds, but the way you just stop and boogie and do your, you know, you got the footwork for real, right? I be like, yo, look at Brucey over there. You always make people feel good all the time for many, many years.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
So how do you feel today? Thank you for coming.
I'm glad you had me. I knew CoCo for a minute.
I know. Always on the dance floor, always dancing from OZ to.
Yes.
But you've been on everybody's flyer, so forgive me for trying to run down club names because it's too many for that. But I'm excited to have you because, like I said, your legacy, your name, like rings bells, especially if you grew up in New York and wherever you are, because you've traveled. You've worked with some of the greats in the business. You've traveled with Diddy. You've been part of his team. You had a residency at the Rooftop for many, many years. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's been through the Rooftop. That's like everybody watching Video Music Box. Like, if you was in New York at that time, you was going to the Rooftop. You know?
The 80s era.
Yeah, the 80s. It was hot. It was no other place, you know? So I'm just saying, how does it feel being a part of that? And actually, like, you was in, that's your prime. That's your prime years. You coming up, you young, you hot on the streets. Like, how was that?
But that was good. But I came from Disco Fever first.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I go see.
From South. Abatello, right? Yeah.
I was Disco Fever, Skate Fever.
Okay.
Then the Rooftop.
Oh.
But the Rooftop, that's when I made my name, because I wasn't their first DJ.
Oh,
yeah,
you
Mike
wasn't?
Spot, yeah, it was Mike Spot, Howie D, and Solar Carton. But then
okay.
when I came, it just got different.
That was it. It was like, all right, y'all.
You know,
right. I got this.
you know, I was under the best. I was with the Love Buck Star, Ski Chief Star Child, Hollywood, Grandmaster Flash. I was with the Blueprint DJs.
Right, the Blueprint, right.
Yeah, I was with them guys.
So how was that being at the Fever? Let's go back to the Fever because the Fever's always named as a spot where people. Yeah, tell me about that because I wasn't at the Fever.
All right, so when I was in the Fever, I was young. And I knew, and that was my come up.
Okay.
So that was Star Child, Love Buck Starsky, Junebug, rest in peace, Grandmaster Flash, Disco B, and everybody had their night.
Right.
So it was, Disco Fever was from Tuesday to Sunday.
Tuesday to Sunday.
Every day, yeah.
So you got the rest on Monday.
You get the rest on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every night? Y'all was in there rocking out?
But I wasn't. I was just there. I was, that was my come up years.
Okay. You was witnessing, like seeing how everybody.
Yeah, they were real.
So how did you form your own style? Like, we always ask the common question, like, what inspired you, or how did you get into the game? But what was it for you? What was your entry? What made you fall in love with DJing and music?
I know, I just had that.
You did?
Yeah, I just had that. And I tell you, I was with the best.
Yeah.
I was with the Love Buzz, the Hollywood, the Chief Rocker Star Child. So
you mean even that young, watching them, you knew you wanted to do that?
Yeah, paying attention. And then when I just, but I was always the DJ. But then when I got to the Rooftop, that's when I got my, that's my shine.
Right.
And that's it, basically.
And where did the Rooftop take you to? Because you was there for quite a few years, right?
But so when I got to the Rooftop, it got different because that's when music was music.
Yes.
And now I was breaking records.
Right.
Let me let y'all know, I was breaking records.
Breaking records, okay?
Yeah. So, and that's how I became who I became, because I was breaking records, and I would play reggae, jazz, hip hop. I was playing everything on roller skates.
Ooh. Them were some fun times, y'all. Let me tell you. Those are some fun times. Even if you couldn't skate, you was going to Rooftop. Okay? Right.
Yeah, fashion show. Good times,
Yes. Yeah. We got cute, and we was like, who we going to meet tonight, y'all? That's what it was about. It was a whole vibe.
The vibe was crazy, but, that whole, it was the fashion.
Right.
It was just the look. It was everything that in the 80s, the late 80s.
Right, because if you said, I was at the Rooftop last week, it's like you was at the poppin' spot. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
How could you not go to the Rooftop,
Absolutely. Right.
And that's how, like, Skate Key for the Bronx. But to me, I think Skate Key was monumental for the Bronx.
For the Bronx, right.
But I do feel they were kind of like around the same eras, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so it was,
Rooftop was different.
yeah, it was. I can't lie.
Yeah.
The cars outside,
cars,
the
yeah.
money guys.
Covered all,
Harlem
yeah.
is different, y'all.
Yeah. And then with the Rooftop, you had Brooklyn coming, we had Queens coming.
Right.
So it was like, it was different.
It was more diversified, even though it was like right in the heart of
that was some
Harlem,
real
right
hip-hop
there.
roller skating.
Real,
Yeah.
real, for real. So, and so how did you, what is like one of your fondest memories being at the Rooftop?
So many. Yeah, so many. But my
could
fondest
imagine.
one I could tell you was like Hollywood.
Okay,
You know, rocking with Hollywood, that was mine.
I could imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Hollywood is still hot now.
Now.
Okay? Whether he's standing, whether he's sitting down, it don't matter. The man is incredible.
Yes.
It's so many DJs that I really like in New York. And I feel like we're fortunate because there's a lot of states that they didn't have it like we had it, you know? They didn't have so many people that they could say they grew up with or they watched come up in the game. And, you know, firsthand like that. You know, they still trying to get New York. They don't care if the tapes is 10 years ago. If they out of town, they still want
I
that,
got
you
those
know?
too.
Yeah, you have that too, right? So
absolutely.
how did it lead you? So where did the Rooftop take you? Like after you had your time there and you was rocking out? Because now everybody know you, right?
So the Rooftop, it took me a lot of places. A lot of places because, you know, like, I did a sound that somebody else took and became a billionaire.
What is that sound?
You know, like with the acapellas, with the beats.
Yeah.
I've been doing that.
Been doing that.
Yeah, on roller skates, live, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, but it was the sound, and it was that, I'm telling you, it was the era. You know,
Right.
that was that Teddy Riley era.
Yeah.
That was that R&B era.
Yes,
That
yes.
was music era,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
Because, like, we still play the music from that era today. Yeah.
Guy and all those
All of them,
groups
yeah.
that came out,
Right.
forget about it. I see Teddy Riley's now going around in New York with a book tour. He's like got a book coming out, so shout out to him since you mentioned his
Absolutely, yeah.
name.
Shout out to Teddy
Give him
Riley,
big
yes.
kudos for
I
that.
broke a lot of his records. too.
Yeah.
I broke, my whole thing, Debra, with me.
How did you know what to break? What was your method? Like,
it was-
where did that come from?
It's the rhythm. I had that. I got rhythm. You know, I got a different type of swag.
If you felt it, you like, nah, I'm taking this to the.
And that's why you see me dancing. 'Cause
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what
that's
kind
right.
of beats? Is like a certain kind of sound?
Music.
Kind
I
of
mean,
anything?
Music, yeah.
Because I see you be rocking out. Like
music, yeah.
you grew up with this in your bones, like, you know?
Right. But I'm telling you, I was with the best, and I know what to do. Like once
Right.
I get you, I'm not going to lose you till we ready to go. So that's what it is.
And
yeah.
listening to you today, like you be playing some of the classics, and I'd be like, dag, you know, I ain't hear that. It's like those good flashbacks, those
that was
good,
to
those
me,
songs trigger really good
And then a
flashbacks
lot
and
of
good
them songs
moments.
I play, you know, they play them today, but you know, they just like loop them, you know.
Yeah, just slide them in, or they
yeah.
might mix it, right?
Right.
But you be letting them play out,
Yeah,
and that's when
yeah,
we get to
yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love when I know some DJs be trying, they act like they're trying to break a record. Some of them
wanna
want to play
play
100.
90 records, yeah.
Right. I'm like, come on, can I hear a little bit more? You let it rock
But,
out.
I mean, but you know, see, and like, you know, all right, so that was like Kid Capri.
Right.
And like he explained it to me. The reason he played them records like that, because he was doing concerts. You
Okay.
only get 15 minutes.
Oh, so you
if
gotta.
it's your 15 minutes, you ain't gonna let one record play for 15
No,
minutes.
you're not. No, you're not.
So.
Okay, so now y'all know y'all, because I know some people be complaining, like some. Why they cutting the record so fast? Now you know.
But that's really for like concerts.
Right.
But some DJs bring it in the clubs, and that's when it just goes sour.
Yeah, I hear it in the club. I get up, I be like, oh, that's my jam. By the time I get up and get a spot, it's something else playing. I'm like, damn, let me go sit back down again. So it's so many different techniques today. Like, how do you feel about how because you've seen it evolve. Like, how many years in the game? Like 30, 40, 50 years?
40,
About 40
45.
years? You've seen.
Yeah.
From dragging the crates to now
Yeah.
popping, you know, hitting buttons. Like, how do you feel about the transformation of music, of the DJ game?
I mean, it's that time.
Yeah, it's that time.
We're doing like technology. It's
Right.
Just, you know, it's just that time.
It's
you
a
know.
lot better than having
But
to carry
it's
them
better for
crates,
me.
though, right?
I know it's better for me because them crates and, you know.
Digging in the crates and all that.
Turntable speakers.
Right.
It ain't like today. Today is you just roll everything, pop,
Right.
pop, pop.
Get your laptop, plug it in, and you good to go. Yeah, that's a lot
but
better.
Now for me, it's just more like the music. So like with me, with the music, it ain't, I always like to say, it ain't, their music ain't long lasting.
Right.
Our music was long lasting.
Yeah, because we still listening today.
There you go.
Right,
But
right.
now today's music, when you hear them play, it might, 30 days? You might, it might
To the
be
next hot track come out,
right.
and then you like...
Today's music don't got no longevity.
Right. They don't become classics like our music did, right?
Right.
So how do you stay abreast of the music? Like, it's still the same
I got grown
method?
kids.
Oh, that helps. That helps.
Yeah, kids,
that helps.
grandkids,
But you still have your own sound.
Right.
You still don't like everything that they may play. So how do you decide?
All right, so now all the music they play today, I was already playing that. So y'all just make it easier for me.
That's it.
You know?
A lot of them are remakes
How you gonna go
too.
to old school and you only like 30 years old? How old could you be playing on?
Right. Is that really old school? Like, I don't know, right?
But it's just the difference. It's just more like the technology. You know, and me, I ain't even mad.
Right. But did you ever do like the vinyl? Did you?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's how you started.
Yeah, with the vinyl.
Okay. Do you miss that though? Be honest. Do you miss it?
I mean, I'm a real DJ.
Right.
So that, I could do that. I could play on anything.
Okay.
I could play on like today's thing, turntables, vinyl, whatever.
Right.
I could do it.
You could do it. It's all.
Yeah,
See, that's what I love. When you grow with the industry, it's not like you got stuck. Like I don't really know how. You grew with it. You know.
Right. And that's how you stay relevant.
Right.
You don't try to stay in one spot. You gotta. Like
if you're really a lover of the right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. You try to grow and with it. I mean, that's when you know it's a real passion, right? When it's not like a fad. Like, people jump into certain lanes because, for different reasons, for fame, for this, attention and that. But this is a real, when you go in the past 20, 30, 40 years, come on now, that's your life, right? That's like you've been playing forever. You probably can't even remember when you wasn't playing at this point. You know what I mean?
I started playing when I was 13.
13?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So did your mom buy your first equipment, like when you was young?
No, I didn't get my first equipment till like 89.
Okay. Okay, that was about, that's when things were simmering.
But now that's what everybody say about me. But you never had turntables. So
how
you was a DJ and I never had my own equipment.
You never did.
No.
So where'd you used to go and play and practice?
And people, a lot of my
Oh.
in clubs.
Okay. You learned there, like on the job training type thing. Okay. Hey, it works.
True story.
True story, y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the first that I've heard that. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's dope.
I didn't get no turn-tips about like 89. But I've been playing since like 77, 78.
So you was almost like a pro by the time you got your first set.
I mean, it just, like, after you watch people like Grandmaster Flash, Theodore, all these type of dudes.
Did you get to see him firsthand, like,
you
used to see Flash at the Fever?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Echo Park. Come on, don't do that.
Oh,
Echo
my
Park,
God.
Cedar Park. Come on, yeah.
Wow. See, that's what I missed. I didn't see that.
Come to me, it ain't just I'm a DJ. I seen it like from the beginning.
Right.
Like from like
Cool
I was
Herc
going to
and all
club,
that, all that.
plugging the joints in the joint, the block party.
Right, and the light pole and all that. See, this the good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever dance? Cause you look like
I used to do my little, break dance, swiping and all that, spinning on the head and all that. Yeah.
I can see it. Because you got the moves now. You still got the moves.
So I was always around it. Cisco and this. I'm on Davidson and Bronx.
Yeah. Because you're from the Bronx.
I'm from the Bronx, yeah.
I always, originally I thought you was from Harlem.
Well, it's like, I had a godparents that lived in Harlem.
Okay.
So, when my mom went to hang out, we used to be on 40th Street. She went to godparents' house. So.
Right, because y'all babysit, because we got things to do. Right.
And then I was born in Harlem.
Okay. So let's go back to after the Rooftop. How was it? Is that how did you start working with Diddy's team and started traveling? Or what was your next move after the Rooftop? What was like the next big move for you?
Well, the next big move for me is just that everybody knew. And so I did a bid. I did a bid. And then when I came home, I was messing with Bad Boy. Even before Bad Boy.
Okay.
It wasn't. I think Diddy was still working for Uptown.
Uptown, right?
He was still working for Uptown. Kirk Burroughs came. Yeah.
I used to be working with him then.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was their first DJ.
You was?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was the Bad Boys' first DJ.
So like you did a lot of traveling
I did a lot of traveling. I did a lot of stuff. I did a lot of industry stuff. I was on rock. Dan Dash DJ. Rockefeller, yeah. I did rock radio.
Wow.
Yeah, I did a lot of. But see, me, I'm not the dude. I'm always behind the scene. I'm always like out of the way. Always been like that. You know, my thing. When it's time for me to shine, that's when I shine.
You like, I'm like the turntable speak for me. That's what it was.
And then
Some people are like that, you know.
I'm out, I'm partying, I'm drinking, I'm having drinks.
Right.
That's what I do.
Okay, well that's
You see
dope.
when I be
And you
out.
like that now, right? I'm about to say, you
I
be in the
outside.
cut. You be in the
I come
cut
outside.
chilling, yeah.
You know.
Okay. So what was one thing that you learned from like being with Rockefeller, being with Dame Dash? Like, how was that whole business? You learned the business.
I wish I'd have knew, because now, I don't want to say I was the first one that did the tapes, but I made the tapes, like, I made it different.
Okay.
I made it more popular than, because, Kaz was doing it, used to ride around in the OJ, you know what I'm saying? with the tape.
Yeah.
But back then, people wasn't, the money wasn't like it was in the 80s, because I was more dealing with the hustling dudes.
Oh, you was making the money. They gonna pay for them tapes. They gonna come from out of town and all that and pay for them tapes.
So it was like more for me, like the tape thing, right? If I would have knew the business that I knew now, yeah.
But you would have did different. What you would have did different?
Well,
what would you have done different?
I would have made it. I would have like monetized it more. It made it more like, to pay taxes, it made it like a business.
A business,
like
right, instead of just meeting them on the corner.
So I could have been doing it just like how they do like the greatest hits. I could have been marketing it like that.
You sure? And why you can't do that now? It's too
I can
late.
still do it now.
Right,
but,
it's not too late.
But I had it weird, because I was already dealing with all like the A&R. They used to bring me their records.
Wow.
I broke a lot of records.
So they was actually coming to you like, play this. Because they know if they get you to play it in the rooftop and it's a smash, people going to go out and buy it.
And see, like back then, people pay more attention to music than they did today. Like today, people, they ain't focused like, all right, when you dropped the album back then, your album, you took singles.
Right.
That single might last 6 months.
Right.
So
you can stretch out
listen to
a
the
project.
Whole album.
Right, yeah.
Now, I don't, they just scan, boom.
Yeah.
We need something new.
Yeah.
Why
is that good or
in?
bad? What you think?
I actually think that's like, it's bad because it ain't got no longevity to it. You know what I'm saying? We still playing Before I Let Go.
Right. And all the other classics
all
that you
the classic
play.
Joints,
yeah.
So,
and we can hear that all night. We don't even have to move up to what's playing right now and have a full good party.
And then what I realized, right, because I like to stay relevant, the records that's hot today, if I play them in the club, they don't even bounce to them like they'll bounce to a classic joint.
Yeah. Is that based on the audience, you think? Or is that like all ages, or
well,
what are some of the circumstances like?
Well, like for me, like the young people know old school, because most of their music is from
remakes and hearing their parents play it when they was young in the house, right?
So they know, because like my kids, they know their music, and that be bugging me. They be like, "What you know about that?"
Right? They saying all the lyrics with you, right? Yeah.
Like, so it's like, but it's in like the age difference. It really don't. I rock anybody. I don't care if you're 3 years old.
Yeah. There's no division when you're a good DJ. You play
really
everything
don't
and get them rocking.
Like too young, but I could do young.
Yeah.
I could do
I love your style, Bruce. You like you're definitely one of my favorite DJs in New York. And you be pulling people out. People see your name on the flyer. Okay, what I'm gonna wear? You know where I'm going. I gotta make sure I'm there.
I know the business to it.
Yeah.
A lot of DJs don't know the business to what they do.
Right.
I'm here to. I'm in the club to make you drink, have fun, get home safe.
The promoters like you for that. The people that's coming like you for that. So that's good business all the way around.
Right.
That's what's up. So let's get into the rooftop, okay?
The rooftop.
Because we talked about it a little bit. We're going to go a little further, y'all, but we're going to take it back to the rooftop because it's actually a documentary out. A project that came out. So let's talk about the project and let's talk about how that came about. Matter of fact, let's check out the trailer. We did check out the trailer. We're going to check out another trailer? No? But y'all seen the trailer. A little bit, a little snippet of the trailer, right, of the rooftop. And we're going to be joined now by another person. We have another guest in the show. Young Quincy is here. He is a producer of the show Brucey B is one of the main people in the Rooftop Project.
Right, executive.
So you are the executive producer of the Rooftop
That's
Project.
the
Right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Brucey. He's on this thing right now. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get young Quincy to come in and join us in the back end. We'll have him set up to come. So introduce the project to us.
So the Rooftop is just like basically, you know, that era. You know, that era was the roller skating, fashion and music, the style, the cars, just the whole look.
Right.
So you get that with the Rooftop. You know, you're gonna see the cars, you're gonna see the fashion. You know, you're gonna hear the music, you're gonna hear the, you know, you're gonna see the style, you're gonna see everything. Then we got interviews from people from that era that was there. That's now that's moguls now.
Yeah.
Like we got Dame Dash.
Yeah.
We got Dougie Fresh. We got Grandmaster Melly Mel. We got interviews.
Yeah.
We got a lot of interviews that we got Kumo D, and everybody's telling you their little story of that era in the Rooftop.
Yeah.
And it's serious because that era is like no era, like it will never be that era, like we know that, right?
But that era was
it was a nice good era for learning and growing up, you know.
I think it's something about Harlem. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
like
Harlem
Paid
got
in
that swag.
Full and, you know, those kind of stories. It's something about that era. It's like a lot of people cannot identify with the fascination like we had. Like we was in it. But to be outside and looking at that.
It's like a Rooftop documentary.
Right. It's a classic. It shows a lot. It shows you how people dress, the money. You got young kids,
like
18 years
some
old,
of the main
millionaires.
guys in that era that was getting money and doing the hustling thing. So and I was in that too. I did the music to that too. Paid in Full.
And put it right.
Yeah,
Right.
And I was in there.
You was
the
in-
verse voice. I'm the verse voice you hear on Paid in Full.
Yes.
It's world famous Brucey B.
Yes. See, we got to hear it on the show, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. So, young Quincy, thank you for joining me. Like, you're another one of my longtime friends. And when I met you, I mean, you'd be like, I'm at the airport. I'm taking the train over here. My flight's coming in here. I'm like, who are you working with? What are you doing? Man on the Move, Boston Ballroom.
That's
remember?
right. That was what the 90s, right?
Boston
Absolutely.
Ballroom. And you work
Yeah.
with some great people. We're going to get back to that. I don't want to take people off track, but I
Right.
just want to let it be known. You also are a part of the Rooftop documentary, but you also have a long history in music as well.
Yes.
You work with a lot of artists. You also have some affiliation with Diddy's Camp. You work with Zane. You work with a couple of artists
Right.
from the time that I've known you.
Right.
And I know it's quite a few more. You was involved in fashion as well.
Right.
So you've been doing a lot in the industry. So when you told me about the Rooftop Project to come down that day when you was like the speaker, and I came down and I viewed it, I was like, wow, this is something different. And it's so nostalgic. It really takes you back where you feel like, it reminds me, because I used to be down there passing through Harlem. I'm a Bronx girl, but I used to pass, I used to be scared of Harlem. I used to be scared. I was like, all this fast money, I would probably get caught up in these streets and not go home. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I used to just be fascinated, like young guys getting out of big cars. I'm like, what? You look like you could barely drive. You 15, you got meat coats. And the era, like you said, like no other. Like no other. I have my little plaid jacket on. You know, they coming out with fur coats. I'm like, what they got going on down here?
That's that Dapper Dan era.
That Dapper Dan era, definitely. I know you had a couple of suits.
Absolutely.
I know you did. You had some too, right?
Nah, I didn't.
No, what?
I didn't. I couldn't afford it.
Right. Dapper wasn't playing.
You know, I couldn't afford it. It was like, but I was fresh though. I was Dr. J's fresh.
Okay, right. Hey, that was
You know what I'm
fine.
saying? I wasn't Dapper Dan fresh. I was not.
I was Dr. J's,
Dr. J's
and
fresh.
Foot Locker fresh too. You know what I
couldn't
mean?
afford it at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
So we saw, you realized it was an importance to bring this project out, to do the Rooftop. So you went out and got interviews from people that was there. And what were some of the other core elements of the Rooftop project? Well, it's about Gusto too,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Talked a lot about Gusto.
Right.
He's also, is he an executive
He's an
producer?
executive producer.
Okay, so it talked a lot about him, what was going on, because he actually brought the Rooftop, right?
Right. It told you a whole story from who owned it, who Gus got the rooftop from. So it tells you, it starts from the beginning.
Mr. Willie.
Yeah, before,
Right, Mr. Willie's, yeah,
before
Millie's
it
Burgers or something, right?
Yeah, because the rooftop was after our spot originally.
Okay.
And then, he made the roller skating ring. And then, yeah, so it starts from Mr. Willie, then it goes into Gus, then it goes into like the whole rooftop thing, then it goes into Brucey B.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
And I was a 14-year-old kid sneaking out the crib.
Going to the rooftop?
I didn't know Brucey.
How did we get in? They didn't ask for ID?
Yo, everybody was yo. Yo, Gusto, man, yo.
People wasn't checking IDs back then, 'cause we was in there.
We was in there.
Right.
People I talked to today that's like, I was at the rooftop, everybody was like, yo, I was only like 13.
Right.
14, I was like 14, 15 years
I
old.
was young too. I don't even think.
But it changed my life though.
It
It was
did,
like,
right?
it was really my first time going out. Like I learned how to party, I learned how to taste for partying, taste for good music. And everybody was in there like was just dressed. I mean, we were young.
Dress.
I'm talking about you wasn't coming in and you wasn't
Fly.
You wasn't.
Right. I was saving up. I think I had a
Yeah.
little Burger King job. I was getting fresh on Fridays and going.
That's what people were saying.
That's what it was. Rooftop was taking my money, man. But I
Right.
had to be cute. You can't
Yeah.
walk out there, you know what I'm saying, looking crazy.
Right.
Yeah, but that was good. I really enjoyed the movie because, again, I knew Gusto too, and I learned things about him as
Right.
well. I didn't
Right.
know his history,
Right.
and I didn't know, how much he's done in Harlem, period.
Right.
Through the Rutgers Park, through a
Right.
lot of different
Right.
things. So
Yeah.
that's what I was telling Brucey off camera. I said it's so good to have shows like this where you get to talk and really get to know people.
Right.
Like I didn't even know all of your history, but you've done so much, Brucey. I was like, when I went to look you up, it was like, I was like, wow, you talk to people every day. You just have no idea the grind and the work that people are doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, all right, so the rooftop, it came out. I know you've been having viewings. You've been having different
Right.
people come out and speak about it and host like,
Right.
what you call them? Not casting.
Yeah, we would
like
use
showings, like you
yeah,
was
we do
having.
showings. We would have
Right.
like some of the people that was part of the rooftop, like Brucey, like we would actually do a screening and Brucey would be there, and then like one time we had Hollywood there, the actual people that would, so we actually try to take that on the road. You know what I'm saying?
Are you taking it on the road?
Yeah, we
or-
working on that right now.
Okay, that's
we
what's
working
up.
on part 2 is coming out. The first part y'all saw was like kind of the meat and potatoes,
introduction, right.
Part 2 is it really dives into
It dives into it.
It dives into it, and part 3 really goes into a lot of
it's a
other things
three-part.
happen at this
It's
three-part.
three parts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about part 2. What can we expect from part 2? I won't even go to 3, but
Well,
what?
you could expect like to see more fashion.
Okay.
Like you're gonna see fashion. You're gonna see like the cars. You're gonna see, like you're just gonna see what was going on like in the street
In the
like,
80s,
like,
what was
like
going
the
on
80s,
really
yeah.
like the whole behind the scene of what was happening in the 80s besides like what led people to the rooftop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you look at, things was going on in the 80s, Larry Davis, we had all these different things that was
Right.
happening.
Yeah.
Right,
we
because
would-
we didn't have commercials.
Right.
It wasn't things like that to
Right.
market the rooftop. It was
Right.
by word of mouth in
Word
the
of mouth.
street.
There you go.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Like you heard.
yeah.
You heard that. So it was, I would like to say this on camera, it was definitely an honor working with Bruce and Gusto and my partner, Vote. So my partner, Vote, he was actually in one of the first groups that was on Rooftop Records.
Oh.
So it's just it's a whole component.
So was Rooftop Records under Gusto as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where Teddy Riley started. That's where he
Teddy
started.
Riley started
Kumo
it.
D, he was breaking the records.
You broke his record?
Yes,
Everybody.
That's dope.
everybody.
That's
It-
dope.
it-
You helped launch people's careers. You know what I mean?
The Rooftop.
Yeah, that's dope. You need
helped
some
out.
royalties. You know what I mean?
Right,
Right.
right.
Right. Send this man some check. Send him some money because he done broke a lot of people. You know what I mean? And that was so important. It's still important today.
Right.
For people to get their records broken on the radio. And I
Right.
hope you was getting your little check on the side. Like, was you doing that, Bruce?
No.
No? You was doing it for the love.
That's why he said
That's
if
what's
he'd
up.
have monetized more.
Right.
had
Oh,
he
you
known.
was talking about that part too.
all of that.
All of that.
Like, yo,
All of that.
That's a promotion
See,
budget.
that's true. That's
Right.
true to the
Right,
game
yeah.
right there. Because after that, them people started. It's always the next or the third generation that
Right.
figure it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
you got-
That figure it out.
Figured out. It's just that when you like in that moment and then you're already getting money.
Yeah.
You ain't thinking about it.
Yeah,
like
you're
that.
not. Because
Yeah.
you already, you hot. You like, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it. I'm going to play it.
Right.
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 Yeah, not today. They'll take that same attitude. I'm getting money, but I want some of yours too.
Yeah.
Okay, it's different.
Music became at that time the new form of hustle.
Yeah.
Like everybody, like, you know, for a long time people didn't really know I did music. They just was like, I playing baseball, basketball, but because, you know, at that time music was like considered like some girly thing for a guy to do. You know what I'm saying?
think so?
Yes. Because it was like, yo, because if you wasn't hustling, getting money,
What? You doing music?
Doing
you
music,
ain't
but
outside
then-
playing ball. You ain't doing this, right?
But then you saw when I saw Teddy Riley, I was like, yo, hold on. You know, I'm at that pinnacle age where
Yeah.
I make a decision what I'm gonna do with my life, and I'm
Right.
like, yo, I want to look like
He
that.
see the Dougie Fresh.
Dougie Fresh,
He was doing
everybody.
joints. And Teddy was already doing joints.
He was already
before
doing
got
it,
with
man.
God. Like,
Wow.
yeah, he was already lacing people.
That's
with
why I
joints.
might get his book, because I think
His
I
book
want to
is dope.
hear
I
about his
definitely,
story. Yeah.
his book is dope. It definitely takes you back to that. He takes you back to that time, like when he started it. In the same way, he
And a
wasn't
lot of people don't know.
Right.
I don't know his story.
Right. He
I
didn't
just
mo-
know
he didn't
Blackstreet.
monetize
I
early.
just know Guy. I just know,
Right.
you know what I mean?
he didn't monetize early, so he still actually. I think something just went out. We talked about he didn't get paid off of Keith Sweat.
What?
That first album that he did, like, you know, his royalties and
That
stuff
was
Yeah, he
like.
did Keith Sweat.
Huge.
Oh, and the
That
whole
was
That's what he did the whole album.
Right.
Yeah.
That was huge.
The whole album was great.
Yeah, I cannot believe that. Damn.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the book is definitely like, it was inspiring to me because the dude inspired me. His inspiration is being a musician and a street guy.
Right.
So I'm
and
in the
to
street,
be in
yeah,
front with
yeah.
him and to witness that hands on, like, you know, you just
Yeah.
never knew you never know who people are going to become.
Right.
Or,
Right.
not that you want to ride off
He did
somebody's
Kumo
wave,
D.
but
Yeah.
He did
right.
Kumo
The
D.
classical
Yeah,
too, like
yeah.
Heavy D
He
first
did,
hit.
He did everything.
Oh wait, yeah, he did. Yeah, he's like
Teddy?
everybody.
Teddy, yeah,
B Fats.
I didn't know that. Be fats too.
Wow.
Big Fast, yeah.
Wow.
He was that
Yeah,
dude.
Teddy Riley.
That was his hustle. That's
So
when.
he
That's
was
when.
already
Yeah,
rocking.
yeah,
Yeah,
he was.
he-
That was his hustle. Like he was like,
Yeah.
he figured it out. I'm gonna sell some beats. Like
That's
you
what
know,
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
he was the only one. And you figure you're the only one, you know, that's doing it. Then he understood how to market himself.
Right, right.
He stayed fly.
Right.
You know, from Harlem. So he like, you know,
He's like a visionary, just
Yeah.
like I think Diddy was too.
Right,
Being
but-
young, pushing.
but that's what Diddy
pushing.
got it from. Diddy came from that school.
So
Right.
he
He came from
pretty
Uptown.
much, pretty much.
Andre Harrell
yeah,
started.
pretty much.
Andre
yeah.
Harrell started
They was
Uptown Records.
classmates, right?
Right.
Right. They was
Andre Harrell
classmates.
started Uptown Records at the rooftop.
So how are y'all gonna do it? How are you gonna do part two? Are you gonna recreate some scenes? Are you trying to get original footage to be in part two? Like, how are you going about it? Because it's hard when you're going back years trying to create a whole era.
We got footage that I didn't even think we got to do a bump.
Okay.
He said if it's out there, he could get it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if it's out there, they'll find something right.
Yeah, so we have like, you know, Gus found old footage, and we was like, 'cause he thought they actually lost the footage.
Oh.
But then he wanted to find some footage. He was like, I found a lot of footage of actually inside the rooftop.
What inside?
Yeah,
I
actually.
hope I'm in there. Look.
Yeah.
I know I celebrated one of my first teenage birthdays in there.
Really?
Me and Biz Markie had the same birthday,
Wow.
and Biz Markie celebrated his birthday there, and it was me and him. And he pulled me up to where he was at, and they was singing
he
Happy
stayed in- he
Birthday.
stayed in my
Yeah, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Biz Markie.
Everybody
Rest
was
in
up there.
peace, man. Yeah.
Everybody
Great
was up
guy.
Big Daddy Kane, that was his first joint when he brought Big Daddy Kane out.
Right. Wow.
Biz Markie brought him out?
Yeah.
Wow. You saw. You have some great memories from being in there. How you get that lucky? The Fever, one of the hottest spots in that time, and then you go to the rooftop from that. Like, come on, you had to get on a plane and go somewhere after that. Like, there's no other spots that could duplicate that history. I keep hearing about the T Connection, but I don't know too much about the T
And
Connection.
see, the T Connection, that's when I was the little hip hopper.
Okay.
But that was like
That's before the Fever?
That was before the Fever.
Okay.
Probably the same time, but like at the end, because that's where you had Grandmaster Fad Theodore, the L Brothers.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Cold Crush. That's, you know, I used to try to, you know, we used to just go there, but you couldn't get in, so we just stand outside.
That one they wasn't having. They wasn't having. It was going down in the T Connection.
But that was a little bit more adult.
Yeah,
that was a little more adult, right?
They was old. They was old.
Yeah,
I said
it was going down in there,
I
right.
was seeing my moms and talk about the T
Right,
Connection.
yeah.
I used to hear them talk
That's a
about
spot
these
I only
spots.
heard of. I'm like, no, I never been
Yeah.
there.
But then to come to find out, right? To come to find out, I'm just as old as they are. I was just probably didn't have that swag then.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm just as old as they are.
Oh, you was okay.
Yeah, but
You didn't know.
Busy Bee told me some stories, and I'm like, "How you getting these spots? How old are you?"
Right.
Telling them stories. Like,
The bag. That's what he did. They let him right in, and I see him in the footage too.
so yeah, we got everybody.
Yo,
Everybody.
the
Everybody.
beauty of it is people are still out here making money, still out here doing what they love.
Yes.
Right.
Like Busy Bee is still performing. Like they was just in Tennessee. He's in Vegas. Like people are still
Right.
doing it.
Right.
That's
Because
beautiful.
our music is long lasting.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And you, outside of you performing like in clubs, we're gonna come back to the rooftop. We're not done. But you are also on the radio now. Like you know, years you are still like doing what is it? 94.7 the
Rooftop
block.
on the block.
Rooftop on the block. Everything
94.7.
rooftop.
You got it.
Everything. Okay. Okay.
It's
the
Right.
brand.
It got to be the connection.
Right.
That's
Right.
the
I like
connection,
that. That's
you know.
good for Brandon.
Yeah.
Brucey, like I got it now. Brucey, like I got it now.
Yep.
All right. So the vision for part 2, are you working on it now? Like when can we expect for that to come out?
So, I think like even next month,
Oh.
like
so
March,
it's in
April,
production
like
already?
yeah. We just landed a
Oh.
little situation on a platform for 2 and
It's a
3.
business.
You know, a lot of people be like,
Is
yo,
it
it's
in
been
the
5
black you
years.
talking about?
Nah, In the Black is where the part 1 is.
Okay, so
Part
if you
2.
want to catch part 1
It's
of
on
the
In the Black,
Rooftop,
right.
go on the In the Black
Network.
It's the new, In the Black Network. It is the new Tubi, y'all. So go check it
Yes.
out, subscribe, become a member, and pay that $4.99 because
Yeah.
they on the premium side of town.
Yeah, you
Okay,
gotta catch this.
right.
Right.
Check that out. Okay.
Yeah, so we just worked out a situation on a bigger platform for part 2 and part 3.
Okay, that's
And then
what
we
I'm
have like
talking about.
you know, Gusto been working on the movie side of the Rooftop, and a docu-series. So it's a lot of different components
do
to
a
this.
lot with that.
Right.
You can do. You can
business
have a whole, like you said, a whole movie, The Rooftop, and that's it.
I mean, the Rooftop was our happy days, man. You
Yeah.
know?
Is the building still there?
No,
No, the building's not.
They got rid of it.
it's a parking lot or something now, right?
Because it's right on the side of Rucker, right? So they
Right
just
across the
they
street,
tore
yeah.
it
I think they
down.
got buildings over there or something now.
Oh, they did.
Like a-
Man,
yeah,
too bad,
yeah,
right? That would have been nice to get up in there and shoot some stuff in there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That would have been nice.
You know, my first time at the Rooftop, LL Cool J was there.
That's,
I was 14.
That's
I turned around.
unforgettable.
Yeah, he was there the first night. I snuck out the crib.
We always sneaking
Yeah, I snuck out the
like,
crib. I couldn't even enjoy the first night.
Because you like just shaking and you dancing at the same time.
But like,
So I
those
never forgot
people
that night, though.
You talk to them, they'll tell you like, yo, you have to sneak out or
What?
yeah.
Yeah,
Because, again, we didn't have phones.
right.
Right? Our parents was like, that sun go down, you better bring it upstairs. So it was a different time. If we had phones, we might have been able to travel a little bit
My
earlier,
mom's
but
looking out the window looking for me.
Yeah.
Coming walking
Don't
down
let
the block.
them
And I
light
think you
poles go down, the
I think you
light.
mentioned this early, right?
What?
The people that was getting money, they was 15 and 16
They were
years
young,
old.
man. Yeah,
Kids.
Yeah.
I'm jumping rope, right?
Yeah.
I'm playing hopscotch in the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
And I go downtown to Harlem. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like people, I'm like, hold up. Little girl is like, oh, that's so and so because how are you 12 and you know who's in that car?
Yeah,
How do you
yeah.
know who's driving the cars down here? You 12.
Because they know he their age.
Right.
Right. They're in the same class.
It's the same class.
Right,
Same
they're in the
class.
same class.
Right, same.
All right, before we end, I want to do, is there anything else you want to say to promote the Rooftop or 94.7 The Block?
No, there.
You want to promote?
Make sure you check me out every
Yeah,
Friday at
yeah.
11. Rooftop on the block, 94.7 The Block, New York. I'm on for throwbacks, and I'm guaranteed.
Yes, check him out, y'all. You would love to see him and be ready to, but you can't see. Okay, I'm not gonna say nothing.
No, but you gotta come outside to see me.
Yeah, you gotta come outside. Okay,
Yeah,
y'all
you
might
can
have to
hit the
come.
pages.
Yeah, y'all gotta come outside to
Yeah.
see him. But be ready to dance. Don't be all half asleep because Bruce is
Right,
gonna
right,
wake you up
right.
anyway. Okay,
Right.
and you got some stuff coming up. Oh,
Yeah, we got the Rooftop. We're doing a lot of. I'm writing songs and producing songs back heavy again, so I'm back into my production.
that's good.
You know,
That's
I'm
good.
back
Pop
into
got a
it.
couple of hits under his belt.
Yeah, I got,
did?
I got a couple hits. Yeah, I got
Pop
some.
got
I got some
hits.
I
works.
love that. He do.
Yeah, that's
I
how you
remember
keep
when
it
you was
around.
working with Zane.
Yeah,
You know,
that
I
was-
saw Renee not too long ago.
Yeah. I did something with her, right?
Yeah, I remember
That's my
that.
homegirl, yeah.
Like I said, we've been friends.
Yeah,
Even
for a
like
long
y'all
time.
working
Yeah,
with
he got
this
the
one.
hit with what? Harvest Brown.
Harvest Brown, One for the Money.
One for the
One
money.
for the money.
For the money, yeah, that's my
That's my
crew.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't sleep on young
my
Quincy
crew.
now, right?
Yeah, we put I put a lot of music work in. Me and my partner Vo, we've been together for a long time.
Yeah, I remember that
And
name.
but him, I gotta give him his props. I gotta shout him out. That's my man. That's my, it's like my brother. And his story is dope from the rooftop because he started singing at the rooftop.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? He was one of the first artists that was signed to Rooftop Records. You know, and that was a group Teddy had. Teddy and Gusto formed later the group, and he was singing in the group. And from there, he and I went to high school together with the Rice High School.
Okay.
And we hooked up from there and became production partners. You know, we dreamed of being LA and Babyface. That's what we used to look at
Oh, so
back
this is
then.
in high school for you.
Yeah, it's high
Okay.
school, coming out of high school, and like our first, second year of college. And and me and homeboy, we just rocked out. You know, we actually was like the first some of the first guys uptown to actually really get into the industry.
You were serious about
Going
it.
downtown, going into these offices, going up to my every day. Uptown Records was our college. We used to go to 1755 Broadway and just sit in Uptown office, and you see a young Puff, a young Junior Jones, Chuck Bone, all the players who people want to become players. Like Andre Harrell was like the Godfather. So those are the early days. Yeah.
Yeah, so bring that rooftop. We need that. We need that whole vibe to come back. You know,
definitely.
Because it's all like even with the dressing and the culture, the fashion.
Oh,
like,
the fashion's crazy.
That was still like one of the best eras for that. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? You
Yep.
saw some of the hottest styles during that time as well.
Everything, yeah.
Even the slang was better. Now, I'm sorry, my parents probably felt the same way. But I
exactly.
don't know what the kids are
Talking
saying
about
now.
right now.
My parents probably said the same thing when I was.
But you know what? They said a lot of stuff that we said. They just put a little twist on it. Like
Yeah.
I listened to it. I'm like, we used to say that.
Right, it ain't
You know what I'm
nothing
saying?
new.
Some of the things I was saying, my parents was like, yo, we should say that. We said it like this, though.
Right,
They
right.
used the word. We used the word a
Similar
little
but
bit different. Yeah.
type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm in the school and I'm like, what? What you said? And I'd be like, oh, that's what it means? Like, they be looking at you like you said, when you're around kids, they keep you fresh.
They keep you
Right,
fresh.
you know what to hear, you know what to
They hit,
wear, you
right.
know, like, when they come outside, they be like, yeah, you don't look your age, you don't act, yeah, because I got kids.
Kids, yeah.
You know, that energy comes in and it keeps you lively and everything. Like, I
Yeah.
was half asleep before the camera came on, but when
Right.
you do what you love and you
That's
have a
right.
good conversation,
Yes.
you would never know it. You
No
know what I
doubt,
mean?
no doubt.
You know?
Yeah.
Can I ask y'all some general questions? We got a little segment. He said I got about 10 minutes. I'm listening, Angel. I hear you. Okay, so questions for both of you. This is rapid fire. Okay, we just talked about the favorite hip hop era, so we already took care of that. That's the 80s, right? You agree?
80s to 90s.
Okay. What's one song that never fails?
Before I let go.
Right. And for you?
It's a joint. It's a joint that he played. Boom, boom.
Girl, I got my own doing.
Nah. The other one from your man from Queens.
That's a nice one too.
The nigga from Queens. When that Mary used the joint, the dude, jazz. Boom, 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 boom. Not all night long. The Kenny
I thought
Burke
you was
joint.
going there.
The Kenny Burke song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Kenny Burke song. But
Love No Limit. That's the Love No Limit.
Love No Limit joint. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Don't fail with
Okay,
that.
that's good. I like that. Okay, as a producer, what was one of the hardest records for you to finish out of your catalog that you work with?
Well, hardest record for me to finish. I did a song on the soundtrack called Black and White. It was with my boy Mike Frito. It was like kind of a pop record. So I think I had to fly to LA to mix it and bring it back to New York and mix it here and just because we actually did it in my house. So then when we went to the studio to actually do it, we didn't get the same sound. So I had to go. So I had to go. Sometimes you do, but a lot of times when we produce, we in the crib, and that crib sound, that house sound is the sound, and you think you're going into a studio, you just
gotta
don't
be
get
the
that
same.
you don't get that same grit.
And
So
you
that was
didn't.
that was one of the hardest records. It's called Free. It's on the Black and White soundtrack. Actually,
So you was producing music in different genres.
yeah, I just was like, I watched Teddy, man. Teddy was doing that. He was just like Michael Jackson. Like he was just Britney Spears. Like so when you're looking at somebody like that inspire you, he just wasn't like he said. He wasn't just doing hip hop. He didn't really even know he could do R&B. You know, but I come from R&B because I learned how to play piano classically at 8 years old. So I knew. So I had training. I was like, I could do that. I could do that right there.
And
I
you
could do
did
that.
it.
Yeah, I could do it right.
So that was the hardest for you.
Yes.
Okay. Your production style, well, not production style, your music style in one word. Your music style, put it in one word.
In one word?
Like only one?
Party.
Dope.
Huh?
Dope.
Dope. Right.
Dope.
Okay, they talk about best borough crowd. Now, we're not doing that because all boroughs rock out.
Yeah, they come
Okay, so artist development then versus viral fame now, which is more important?
Artist development is very important. You know, back then, like you said, there are no actually boutique labels anymore. When I say boutique labels, I mean like your Uptown Records, your Bad Boys, your Death Rows, where your artists were actually developed.
Right.
You know, the artists, these artists were, I watched Usher, LaFace, I watched them develop Usher into a superstar.
We watched him grow up. pretty
You watch them
much,
actually, you watch them make superstars. You watch
Right.
superstars come about. You know, today it's like, it's totally. It's dope today, like, cause you actually get to do it on your own, but you actually like a whole A&R is actually gone. Is gone. So basically, like, you can sit home and
that is gone.
yeah, it's gone. Like the whole field is definitely different. But back then it was definitely artist development. Like you learned how to. When the internet first came in, the artists would have to go to the labels, and they would sit there. They would sit in the promotion office at the labels and actually make telephone calls you had to make actual telephone
Get them
calls.
a dancer, get them
You
stylists.
calling this one.
The label will handle all that.
You're calling your fans up.
Right.
Fans would write letters. I remember watching the audition back in the day. They would have a fan club, and then they would get their fan mail. Then they would have like 4 or 5 hours in the day where they just answer their fan mail.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, today, you could just, it's direct to consumer today.
Right.
But
you have people coming out now, they have high numbers, right? They got the viral fame.
Right.
They don't think they need none of that.
Well,
they don't need that anymore.
well,
you know what I mean?
That's why they only last 30 days.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But within them 30 days though, like these cats is making millions.
Crazy.
Yeah, but
That's
you get a good 30-day run. I'm saying, yeah.
But you got a 30-day run. But now you're only going to be heard for 30 days.
Where's the residuals?
Where you get the
Right. Yeah.
Where's the residuals after that?
Yeah,
and then if they're not booking you to be on
Right,
stage, that's where the real money come, right?
After your record burn out, they forget about you today.
Oh yeah, you going 30 seconds.
Everybody's still getting money from the 90s.
Right.
In the 80s.
Yeah, I mean,
you did it
people
right.
today is going to get money. When it's time for them, when they record ain't being heard enough to get money.
Music today is crack. Crack was a quick fix.
It was.
Crack was a quick fix. Like it was quick. It's like so the money they making today is crack money. It's good money.
Yeah.
It was like,
but it's not like
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean, you were making you may make $1 million over. You got a good record, may make $1 million over 25 years. Now these kids can make $1 million literally.
Crazy.
No lie.
It's
90 days.
Yeah.
I'm watching people's life actually turn around, even just going viral.
Yeah.
But
even just going viral.
Okay, but now if you're making $1 million and you just spending that $1 million on chains and cars. And,
yeah.
See,
you don't know how to spend it right.
And this is where, like, for me, that's why I say if I would have knew what I knew back then, I would have it would have been.
Right. You monetize it a little bit different. Right. Yeah, no doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too bad though.
Yes.
But like I said, we just didn't know how things were gonna
No,
go.
it's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I never get mad about it.
Right, you
Yeah.
can't. You can't.
If you don't know, it's just that you just can't let it happen.
Right,
Yeah,
you
that's
just
a
can't
fact.
let it happen. That's the
Yeah.
truth. Because every originator, cast,
Right.
anybody that I speak to, they
Yeah.
we just didn't know that it would
Right,
last
right.
this long. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? That's the one thing you hear.
You know what? For me, it was supposed to go like that.
It was.
That's why
it
music
was.
changed and music evolved.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
you just everybody's going to get it. The next person is going to get it.
Right.
And that's how it goes.
And that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to learn. That's why history and knowing, they always say, forget history. No, it's important to know what somebody went through before you.
Yep.
So
Right.
you can avoid going through it. You
Right.
know what I mean?
We try to teach our kids that, right? But see, it's the same things if you want to listen.
Right.
Because some things are right in front of you. I know at the beginning of my career, I was lucky enough to, first of all, we found a dope lawyer. was Londell McMillan. You know, if you know who Londell McMillan is.
Yes, I heard
and we
that.
had a
Not
good
to cut you off, but see, people wasn't doing that back then.
right.
This
Lawyers?
is why lawyers.
Who had
Right.
money for?
Yeah.
Who was thinking
And that's
about
the first thing
that?
that come to your mind. Well,
Right.
I'm gonna pay for the lawyers.
Right.
Right.
But knowing
Right.
if he would have went to a lawyer, he probably would have worked the deal with you, knowing that you
That's
wanted
what we
to get
did.
some money.
It got paid
That's
on the
what we
back
did.
end.
That's what we
See?
did.
But people don't know
Like,
that.
we had a couple deals set up, and some people said, "Yo, we was like, we need a lawyer." We didn't really know, and we actually went to Londell McMillan, who at the time, you know, if you know who Londell McMillan is, like, you look him up, you see who he is, you know, and he was just coming up at the time, and we had a couple deals on the table, and we said, "Yo, we can't pay you right now, but we have these deals right here." So he's like, "All right, bet." When he closed.
He knew how to finesse.
Yeah, when they
get his
closed,
money in
this
the
is what we
back
do.
end.
But that was a very important part because he taught us publishing. You know, and we were good students. We listened. We was listening like, yo, because I don't have any heartbreaks.
Oh, okay.
Like I hear the horror stories. Like I was
Right.
like, nah, I had nothing.
You
but fun.
lucky.
And I
You
don't have none
lucky.
either.
Right.
Because the
Yeah.
thing about it, them
I
stories
could've
didn't come
got
out till
more, but in the
later.
harvest, I wouldn't like.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't. For me, it's just I take it as like a learning. You
Right.
just can't do it again.
You just can't do it again.
Right.
Yeah, I done had
Right.
some.
You know
I
what
had
I'm
some.
saying? Now, outside,
Yeah.
you know, because I got companies, I got a couple of companies
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right.
And I learned some stuff from Pop, because Pop told me some about, Pop, first thing he said, I don't care about who made the record, who owns the record. And that's very important.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you
Yeah.
can sing it, but who owns it?
Right.
'Cause
Right.
the person who owns the record
It's
is
the
going
one that's
to
getting
Right.
the money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's important.
Yeah.
You
So,
know,
and you learn stuff every day. You know,
That's what I'm
because
saying.
he
It's
told me
important.
that. That's the first thing he want. I don't care who made it. Who owns it?
Yeah, who owned the record?
Yeah, who owns the record?
Who owned the record? But that's another thing today. That's a plus.
What?
Because these artists, they're able to own their music.
Yeah.
Right.
You're able to control your music. You're able to say what platform you wanted to go on. That's a plus. It was before you had to run to these record
Learning
companies.
about your publishing and all.
Yeah, your publishing. Now you get to learn.
And Prince and Mike tried to tell us a long time
Right.
ago.
Well, that's why I
Yeah,
learned. I was signed to
yeah.
Prince, and he taught. So he was like, "That's the
he's
first
messing
thing."
with Prince.
I signed to Prince Publishing,
Right.
Paisley
right.
Park Publishing, back in like '93. So we would actually take like publishing classes. Like we would sit there, like, "Yo, okay."
That was so smart.
You know,
That was so smart.
And we had this guy named William Allen. It was like our business. He's big in Harlem community, but he been around. He was like Vaughn, our like business partner from day one, and he was a graduate from got his doctor's, master's and stuff from SUNY, from City College. So this is back then. So he gave us this book called The Hitman. So that's how me and Vo got our name too, The Hitman.
Okay.
Yeah, he gave us this book called The Hitman. And we read that book. That book, The Hitman, tells you everything about anything that's going on in there, what's going on. It's kind of like how Teddy Riley book is today. You go get Teddy book, it's kind of like a Bible of how and what to do.
I'm getting that.
certain
I'm going to
things.
get that
Like, yeah.
book. I want to
The
definitely
Hitman
check
book
that
was
out.
that book early on. We read that book. I think I read that book about 4 times. It tell you how to read contracts, how to, those kind of things, and it's important to read.
It is important to read. Look,
Yeah.
I could go on and
Yep.
on and on tonight.
Thank you.
I just want to thank the both of y'all
Yes,
for coming
yes,
to
yes.
join me. I wish you a lot of success on the Rooftop
Thank you.
project. I wish
Yes,
you a
thank
lot of
you.
success on 94.7 The Block. Make sure you check him
yeah.
out on Fridays, y'all, at 11.
At 11.
At 11 to 12, check them out. Is it replays? Do they replay it other days, or they got to be there? They got to tune in.
They don't play on the Odyssey app. They can't go back to your show on the Odyssey app.
On the Odyssey app, yeah.
If you got
Okay.
the Odyssey app, you can go back.
Odyssey
you can replay
app,
the
you
show.
could go back. If you're hanging out on a Friday and you
Yeah.
miss it, go to
they put
Odyssey
it up,
app
yeah.
and make sure you check him out and support. We're going to work on getting Brucey live and direct, y'all, because if y'all not in New York, y'all need to experience the joy.
That's right.
And I meant to ask him, like, how do you get in the mood before these shows? Because we all have bad days. Matter of fact, I am going to ask. Because, like today, I was having a bad day before I got here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How do you... Is it the music that just takes you to another place, or it makes you forget everything? It looks like you
Yeah,
don't
it's
have
the
a
music.
care in the world when you DJing.
I heard somebody told me, "Yo, B, the music you play soothes my soul." So it is. The soul is. Yeah, that music is something.
It comes
yeah.
across.
Yeah,
It
the music
comes
keep you young.
across. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just had to ask that because, you know, any job can be hard, especially, you know, you got to book it. It's not like you can cancel.
Right.
Anything could have happened during your day before you
Right.
got there, but you still got to show up.
You gotta show
That's
up.
part of the business. I feel that way. Sometimes I get booked for things, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to, you know, but you got to go.
That's how, yeah, you gotta
know
do
what I'm
it.
saying?
And I'm like that now, right? So there, I'll be like, yo. Right, but then when I get there, it's a different feel.
Yeah, that's how I feel
Especially
today.
when I'm out
Like
of town.
I was having a
when I'm out
bad
of town,
day.
it's like, because you don't know, you know people from where you at, they know, but when you go somewhere else, you know it's different. So
Yeah.
I just wait and I let somebody else pay before me if I can see the vibe.
Yeah. Check it out.
once I see the
these
vibe,
little
I say, yeah.
techniques y'all gotta learn about. Y'all got.
Let me see
Make
the
sure y'all
vibe.
tune in, y'all. And again,
Yes.
thank you both of my guests
you.
for
Thank
joining me.
you for
Great
always having me.
conversation.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks for
great
having me,
conversation. Thank you. Tonight's show is about legacy. It's about history. It's about Harlem, the Bronx. Everything mixed in. The Rooftop, the world famous Brucey B, Young Quincy. Great conversation tonight. I hope you got inspired. I hope you learned something. And I hope you check out the projects, y'all. It's been a great night. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check out Just Give Me the Mic on all platforms. And yeah, support real DJs. Keep the culture alive. And until next time, stay inspired, stay authentic, and keep the energy high, y'all. This is Just Give Me the Mic signing off. This is your girl, Debra CoCo. Follow and support. Later. Hey everybody, this is your girl Debra CoCo of Just Give Me the Mic. And I have some important news to let y'all know because on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. you can catch the show live and direct on City World Media. I'm so happy to come through with my friends and my team. We got good vibes, good music, and all that. But I need you to tune in and check it out. Make sure you go to www.cityworldmedia.com at 7 and see what Just Give Me the Mic is all about, y'all. I can't wait to meet you. See you soon.
City World Media, we are the voices that move the culture. From my city to your world.
Okay, y'all see I'm all smiles today, right? I had a great show so far. Two powerful women on the show today sharing some positive information with y'all. But I still have one more. One more. Who's a friend of mine that I watch and admire. She's a motivational speaker as well as one of the first female icons out here representing hip hop still today. Made such a tremendous mark on this industry. And I'm talking about MC Debbie D, everybody. Yay! I'm like so happy to talk to you. Like I said off camera, I've been trying to connect with you. I mean, we actually met, 2-3 years ago?
Yes.
At a few, we kept running into each other. And we kind of gravitated. We always talked.
We have the same namesake.
The same name, same birth sign. You
That's
know,
right. That's
our
right.
energies kind of just connect
That's
with
right.
each other. You know what I mean? So
We're educators.
Right, educated. Right. So it's kind of funny, ironic the way the show kind of led up. The first segment opened up. We talked about hip hop.
Okay.
And the early days.
Okay.
The woman that came that actually had the web series, she was also a part of that movement. She used to MC and break dance.
Wow.
And everything which kind of opened up, led her to writing novels.
Okay.
For writing lyrics. She wrote novels and she became a filmmaker.
Wow.
So look at that. And then we also had our second guest, God Saves Queens.
Yes.
Miss Kathy.
My girl, Kathy.
Right. So she came and now we have you. That's just going to follow up and share some stories. So let's just jump right into that part, your career and how it started, and give us a little bit of information on the climate at that time. I think that'll be a great way to open up the segment.
Well, at that time, that's like a loaded question.
I know. Okay, let's start. You were a member of Us Girls. Let's start there, right?
Oh, God, that's almost the end.
Oh, that's something. Okay, well then go.
Yes,
Okay, look,
yes,
I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let you take us through.
Oh,
it.
my goodness, that's 1984.
So you was already doing stuff before the. What? See, tell me about it.
Oh,
see?
my goodness. Well, I started in 1977 in Webster Houses.
Okay.
I actually am a native of Harlem.
Oh.
So I moved to the Bronx because we had a fire in the building. So that's how we got to the Bronx. So we first moved over on University in 165th.
Oh, wow.
And then they, an apartment opened up in Webster Houses. So when we moved there, I was 14. And it was the summertime, and the windows was up, you know, living in the projects. We on the 19th floor. And all of a sudden, I hear zigga, zigga, zigga. And I'm like, what is that?
Right.
Because I'd never heard it before. You know, as a
That's
teenager
not the
coming
OJs. That's not, you know
exactly.
what I mean?
And I was like,
Right.
okay, I'm not too sure. And then I heard a guy speaking on top of the record, and I was like, Mom, can I go outside?
Right. I need to go to the store. I'll be right back.
Exactly. And
Right.
the neighborhood was new. Everything was new.
Okay.
You know, I didn't really know anything about the Bronx other than the Bronx Zoo and the Botanical Garden. Because, you know,
Right.
when you're a kid, you do
That's
those
where
trips
you
in
go,
New York
right.
City. And that was basically all I knew. And so I went downstairs. Webster Houses is a cluster of buildings, 5 of them. And so we have this section that we call the middle building, which is the park area in front of the middle building.
Okay.
And so I kind of just came downstairs and heard the music and just kind of followed the music. And they were outside just jamming out there. And I was like, what in the
So that was your introduction.
That was my introduction to hip hop.
Okay. So when did you become a part of it? How did you actually?
About 2 months later.
I knew it wasn't long.
It was not long.
I thought you was gonna say that first
It
day,
was
but
contagious. Well, you know, all of the pioneers will tell you that everybody started because they heard the music.
And you never rapped. You never did.
Well,
anything?
I had started Easter speeches when I was a kid in church because I have
Okay.
a heavy church background. I'm a preacher today.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
so I have a
awesome.
heavy church background. So that started with Easter speeches. But when I was in Harlem, I used to go to the PAL in Harlem. And then I entered a poetry contest at 10, and I won that first place.
At 10.
Yep, I wrote
Okay.
a little rhyme called Cats and Rats. And all I remember is the first line, cats and rats are very fat. I don't remember the rest. But if anybody
Well, that's
knows
your
Harlem,
start. Look.
you know they got a lot of cats and rats down there.
Okay.
So basically, you know, when I saw the guy on the mic, you know, I was like, I can do that. I want to do that.
Did you go write something
I
for
did.
Oh, you
I
did.
I did. You know, again, it was all new to me. So I kept going and checking it out and watching and seeing the circles and listening to the music and just watching all of these kids. And the brother was like, oh my God. And my
It was
brother,
like magnets. It was just
it
pulling
was.
everybody out, right?
It was. And so I kind of came upstairs and just started writing rhymes. But this is 77.
Right, so
I'm not
it's more like
it's baby,
trying to
what we
make
call
your,
baby
yeah,
rhymes.
trying to make it really
Honey,
rhyme.
listen,
right.
I'm not lyrical. I'm not doing anything major long. I'm not battling
Right.
anybody. I'm saying something very, very simple.
Right.
And so that's how it started. And then I came downstairs, and the DJs that DJ'd in front of that building was DJ Abel and Bear. I think they both have passed now because they were a little older than we were. And I just came downstairs and just said, can I get on your mic? Because at that time, you have to ask the DJ.
Right.
Everything was about the DJ.
Right.
It was the DJ sound system. So you had to
Right.
ask
You
him,
can't
could they-
just grab his
Oh,
equipment and start doing your thing. Right.
No. So I got on the mic and he was like, you know how to rhyme? And I was like, yeah. He was like, what's your name? I was like, Debbie D. It was simple.
Right,
you know,
right.
everything was very simple. And so I got on the mic. I always heard the guy say 1 2 1 2. So I was like 1 2 1 2.
Get
And everybody
out.
turned around like, oh my God, who is that? Because it was a girl.
Right.
And
All
in
they've been
our
hearing
area-
is guys.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that people don't know about the women who I call matriarchs of the culture. We are actually the first few girls that was on the mic, and it was only really a handful of us. It was probably
wow.
less than 10 for about maybe the first 5 years, I probably would say.
And who would those 10? Who would be that
That would
10?
be Shyrock me, Shyrock Lisa Lee, Pebbly Pooh, Sweet and Sour, the Mercedes ladies came in.
And we're talking about different areas.
Oh,
now you're
yeah.
hearing about, right.
We were all in different areas.
Right.
None of us were on top of each other. But, you know, it was just a few. Even when you looked at the flyer, it was always like one girl in a crew. And when you got to the party, it was really just one girl on the mic.
So how was that for you, being so young, surrounded in this male-dominated situation?
Well,
And Or was everybody kind of united through hip hop? Like, what
We
was the
were.
feel? Okay.
We really were. It's a little different than it is today. I mean, it was male dominated for sure, but you know, it was all about your skills. So the
Okay.
question was, can you rhyme?
Right, that's it.
That's it.
Right.
For a guy or a girl.
Okay.
It was like, because if you couldn't rhyme, the DJ, you would get on the mic, and if they thought you was whack, they would literally turn the volume down on your mic, and you would still be talking in the mic, and the volume be down, and people can't hear nothing you say, and they'd be like, get out of here.
Right. You already know. Pass it
no,
and walk off.
So it was really about your skills. And at that time, like, this is when crews first started forming.
Okay.
See, this is like 77, 78. You have
Right.
the first crews, and everybody's like all the DJs are trying to get MCs in their crews. They wanted somebody good.
Right.
The MCs wanted good DJs.
Right.
You know, so it was all of that. So, you know, you had some girls that was courageous enough to step up.
And you
I
was
applaud
one of
my
them,
sister,
right.
yes, and I'm a part of that crew, and I appreciate that.
And how did the Us Girls, how did that connection come about?
Well, you know, because we're a few of the first few girls, of course, you started hearing about other girls. You went to the parties, you started seeing other girls. So we all kind of knew about each other because you went to the parties every weekend. You saw the same girls over and over and over. But that's in 81, I broke away from the male crew and became the first female MC soloist on the stage. First girl on stage with suits on, with my DJ Wanda D. She was on the beatbox, she's on the turntables. We got our own 15-minute show. We doing the doggone thing.
I did not know. That is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm
Debbie.
spitting it a whole show, 15 minutes by myself. Yes. And so between the year 81 to 83, I was like actually the #1 girl in New York City.
If
you check them flyers, and as Grand Wizard Theodore say, flyers don't lie.
They don't lie. They don't lie. You
in
right
black
about
and
that.
white.
Right.
Black and white. So from there, you know, doing all of that, and there were a lot of transitions going on in crews, and so Chirac reached out to me and was like, hey, what do you think about me, you, and Lisa getting together? And I was like, let me get back to you. And then I'm thinking, me, Chirac, and Lisa Lee. Yes.
Perfect.
And
y'all
we did
both
it.
were strong. All three
of us
were strong women at that time.
Exactly. Because we dominated in our areas. If you went uptown, it was Chirac name buzzing. If you went over there, Soundview areas, Lisa name was buzzing. If you came down South Bronx, Debbie D was buzzing.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize how that actually happened. So thank you for letting us know. Because we hear Us Girls, but I didn't know how the group got together.
And we wasn't originally called Us Girls. They named us Us Girls because the name of the song in Beach Street is called Us Girls Can Boogie Too. So they kept saying, where the Us Girls? Where the Us Girls?
Right.
We were actually called Empress.
That was strong.
Queens, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Queens.
That was strong. So having that early start in hip hop, like I know it was a lot of pitfalls at that time. A lot of MCs, money, young, you know, fame. A lot of people got caught up in different pitfalls, right? And, you know, jail and all kinds of things. But not saying that's for everybody, but a lot of artists that I've spoken to from that era, not getting the just amount of pay, bad contracts, like all kinds of things like that. You kind of went through all of it. Were you signed to a record label at that time? How did that work?
I wasn't signed to a record label until 86 when I connected with the Juice Crew.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know I even hooked up with them.
I didn't know.
Yeah, well, Fly Ty actually became the manager for Us Girls.
Oh, nice.
We didn't stay, me and the girls didn't stay together long because eventually I went back to being a soloist.
Okay.
And so that's when I started recording under Cold Chillin' Records. And so.
Cold Chillin'.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Cold
history
Chillin'
there. So
Records,
kind of, actually, I was a part of the Juice Crew before Shantae.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Before Roxanne.
That's right. I remember when I met her.
Oh, wow. And you was already in the business.
Girl, I was already doing the doggone thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because we're like at least 6 years apart. So you figure if I'm 19,
right?
She's what, 13?
Right.
Something like
that.
that.
About 13, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, from that history, you seem to have bypassed a lot of those traps and pitfalls. And then you ended up going back to school, getting your doctorate. Shout out to you for that. That's a big achievement. Like you said, you're a pastor as well. It's like you are this is a motivational story right here. That I speak to a lot of different artists from that area. They don't have that same story. So tell us how your journey kind of led you there. How was you able to be successful at making it and not you know, and,
Well,
and
let me-
rising on top, so to
Well,
speak.
One word, first of all, and that's God. What a lot of people don't know about me is that, again, I'm from Harlem. So I grew up in the 60s when the heroin was really big there.
Right.
So I was stepping over dope fiends and all of that.
Right.
But when I was in the 8th grade, Deb, I had a teacher who really saw my potential and told me if you just, get your education and really just stay focused, you can be anything you want it to be. And he asked me what did I want to be, and I said I wanted to be a lawyer because I was very analytical, and I still am.
Right.
And I used to watch Columbo and stuff like
He
that
was
on
all
TV.
over, right? Yes.
And so I basically believed what he said. And I just went, from junior high school to high school, just really focused on education. And in high school, I went to Norman Thomas. They had a co-op program.
Me too. Let me find
You
out.
did?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Let me
See,
find
look at that.
out. We got so much in common.
Yes, I went there and graduated in 81, but they had the co-op program. So the co-op program led me into the law firms. So I've been working in
Girl,
law
I know about
firms.
them connections.
Girl, I
My
came
first
out-
job through them was Workman Circle. Legit. High
Come on,
school, you
exact-
working in corporate business.
Exactly. I was
right.
corporate America.
Right.
So even though I was doing hip hop, I had money in my pocket. So even though oftentimes we didn't get paid or we got jerked, as we said, but I was always
You was
able to
all
fall.
right.
Exactly. I was able to fall back on my job. But one thing that's really good about working in that environment is that when we did B Street, and I told my boss that we were going to do a movie and I had to stay out a couple of weeks, he was like, well, who is it? What's going on? And to make the story short, he was like, well, you tell them people they have to call me. And
your
they wound up,
boss?
that's right, they wound up calling my lawyer. I was a little nervous. I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought maybe we'd get kicked out the movie. But when I showed back up on the set, they gave us contracts. And to this day, 36 years later, I still get paid for that movie.
Isn't that something? Isn't
For
that
being
something?
in the movie
For being in it.
and for the record.
Wow.
That's right. And
So
myself and the other girls, everybody got paid.
See? Because
Through that whole-
something opened up and covered you with that.
Exactly.
Covered you dearly with that.
Exactly.
So right now you're a motivational speaker. I see you at a lot of women, or not just women. You speak at a lot of different, but I know one in particular, shout out to FemCon.
Yes.
That happened like a year, two
Two
ago.
ago, yes, I usually
And you
host
did a
that.
wonderful job hosting
Thank
that.
you.
A lot of positive women's was on the ballot, on the ticket for that. Great event. So how are you feeling today, MC WD? Like, how do you feel about where you're at today?
I feel great. I feel blessed, and I thank God for the journey that I've gone. But more so, in regard to the topic that you're talking about today, I thank God that I'm able to empower girls today, and more so tap into women who are part of hip hop and say, don't regulate your gift just to being a rapper.
Right.
Diversify
Right.
the gifts that you have.
Right.
You just had Kathy up here, author of God Save the Queen, and she's an author. She's able to write, so she's still doing hip hop, but she's
Right.
able to write.
Right.
And I also try to tell girls, if you focus in on the content, then you'll be able to move into films and scripts
Exactly.
and books and
Right.
different things like that. So don't just think you want to do something fast. Think about really what you're going to say when you put those words on the paper, because the ability to write can move you into so many
Right.
places.
It's powerful.
Yes, it is.
It's
Very
powerful. You
much.
need to believe that. And like I said, today's show highlighted that. How there was highlighted the transitions of 3 different stories, including yours today, of how something, like you said, MC, and you hear music you don't expect. Next you know,
Exactly.
that just led to where you at today.
Exactly. Whole life.
Doctorate, pastor, motivational speaker.
And the
you know.
flyologist too.
Right.
Which is the piece that I love. When I was going for my master's, I think I had to take Koine Greek, which is the New Testament original language. And so I really had to focus in on the nuances and all the different things in regard to the language, which really gave me a critical eye.
Right.
And so now I'm able to take that skill and look at a flyer and really be able to break down a flyer, which is like 40 years old,
Right.
to the most minute things. Most things that people would skip over, even dates or the formation or the transition of crews.
Right.
I'm able to detect those different things on those flyers and break them down and teach them to
Isn't that
people.
something?
So for me right now, it's not necessarily so much about destiny, because I've done that in regard to hip hop, but it's really about legacy and leaving something in the earth for people to be able to track and understand the history of hip hop.
Constantly growing.
Yeah, exactly.
Constantly expanding in
Exactly.
different ways. And that's a beautiful thing. There's a lot of people out here that's stuck and don't have a sense or clue or
Exactly.
direction what they want to do. because they're so caught up. But
or people to motivate them.
Right.
You know what you want to do,
Right.
but sometimes you need that push.
Right.
You know?
Well, I hope somebody's been motivated from the
I
show
hope
today
so.
because we shared some great stories. And where can somebody follow you and contact you for
All
maybe
social
hosting
media, for
events
anything,
and things like that?
please.
Right.
Holla.
Right.
Bring your check.
Right. Right.
I learned that at
You have to
19
say
years
that.
old. I did learn that. But all things social media, MC Debbie D, or they can go to my website, mcdebbied.com.
All right.
So, you know, I just keep it straight all the way across the board.
Right. All right, y'all. There you have it. Wonderful show.
Thank you for having me, Dad.
Thank you for
Appreciate
coming. Thank
and you keep
for-
doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
And
I'm
you keep
trying.
pushing, stand on my
Yeah.
shoulders. One thing I always say to women, stand on my shoulders.
Right.
You know, I got my doctorate and some other sisters out there that have theirs. And just look back and say, hey, if they can do it, I can. And I did
Right.
it with 2 kids.
Right. It's
I
hard.
was very young, 25 years old.
And
And
did
when
it.
I got finished my master's, you know, the president was like, no, you should go on for your doctorate. I was like, I'm tired. My brain is tired, you know,
Right.
whatever.
I be feeling that way sometimes. and
Yeah.
I don't want to think. How can you not
I
think?
know.
But you be like, I don't want to read. I don't want to do nothing.
And I felt the same way, but he said something to me that I never forgot. I said, you know, I'm going to, you know, take a break and I'll be back. He said, a lot of people say that and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what pushed me to go forward. And I'm glad I did because now I'm
Right.
done.
Right. I'm looking at the finish line now. 2 more classes and I'll
Yeah.
graduate in May. So look, there is a finish line.
And
you
throw
do
a party.
get a
You
break.
deserve it.
Right. So, you know, like I said, I've been inspired today. I hope you have too. Again, support all the artists and the guests on the show today. And check us out every Sunday night, 10 p.m., channel 68 in the Bronx. Spectrum, RCN, I got to get all those stations to you. And MNN on Sunday at 8 p.m., y'all. I hope you enjoyed. And if you want to be a guest on the show, make sure you send me an email to justgivemethemic12@gmail.com. Have a great start to 2020. Let's rock this thing out the whole year through. And check us out every Sunday night, y'all. Good night.
Street Noise magazine presents April 1st, 2026. In a world where Sail City dreams bleed out, one kid, one dare, one man that never died. Ali Star rose from Salem ashes, Wu-Tang forged, USO warrior, Killer Priest tempered, Sail City's unkillable. From my city to your world. Street Noise magazine. Sail City to the 36th dimension. The hustler who refused to die. 15 pages. Eternal legend. April 1st. Survive it or vanish.
You're tuned to that raw sound. Everybody let go. Hands up. To the bass, shake floors. When it blow. Midweek, no sleep. We stay ready for the show. It's that raw fusion. Yeah, you already know.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, follow. From my city to your world. We are City World.